Greetings, everybody. This is Baba Makanjula of thepowerofaread.com, and I'm here today to talk to you about something that is very near and dear to my heart. Okay, I want to start off by giving a small story real quick. All right, about 15 years ago, I found myself having some struggles in life, and in the struggles that I was having was basically beginning to seem a little redundant to me. Like, breakups with women, others, with my spouses and girlfriends, and financial things that would seem to be like on a repetitive cycle. And I wound up going to see a therapist at some point, and I talked to a therapist, and I went to see this therapist for about good 4 or 5 sessions. But about the third session in, after I kind of sat back on the couch towards the end of that third session, I started thinking and hearing myself speak. And I said, this is not normal. Because at that time, I didn't live in the environment that I grew up in. So as I'm speaking it, I'm like letting it out, like all the issues, that stuff that I felt led to the experiences that I was having with the other people and finances and stuff. I had to really think that the things that led to it were not normal. And I was like, this is not normal. But in the neighborhood that I grew up in, it's normal. I'm like, so why do I feel like this is not normal? And the look on the lady's face, it was a young white lady. She was looking at me like I was a science project. Like, she was just amazed at how I even survived that stuff. But she was like, this is not normal. I said, this is not normal. She was like, no, it's not. I was like, wow. So I left that, and I started thinking, like, I have a hood disorder. I didn't know what else to call it. I said, I have a hood disorder. Like, the hood is a disorder. Like, the thought process of the hood is a disorder. It's like the things that we accept in the hood is just kind of ridiculous. If you go to other places, it doesn't exist. Like, people don't live that way outside of the hood. For an example, when I had my first son, and I wasn't married, when I had my first son, we had a baby shower. And a friend of mine from childhood came to the baby shower. And he got me in the corner next to the Hennessy bottle. Don't judge me, okay? This was back in the days. And he was like, welcome to the club, bro. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, welcome to the baby daddy club. I got 2 of them, 3 of them, and most of us got like a couple of them, like, welcome to the club. I was like, what? That is way low expectations of life. I was like, what? Welcome to the club? This is what I'm supposed to get used to? Like, nah, man. Like, but that thought process began in the hood. That's a normal thing to have children by other people when you get into a new relationship. Like, it's expected, right? No, that's not the way of life, man. I had to sit back and reflect on all the things that I had experienced, and I came up with a concept for this disorder. And I call it post-traumatic hood disorder. Post-traumatic hood disorder. Now, most people are not going to want to accept it because, for the most part, the hood is glorified. We have it in music. We have it in pretty much all of our TV shows now. Like, it's been glorified, right? And it's nothing to really glorify. It is truly a disorder, because if it was something positive, the conditions of the people in the hood would be better, but it's not. And the problem is that hood mentality, you will take everywhere you go, to every aspect of your life, be it work, be it relationships, be it whatever, your health, be it whatever you're doing, eating habits, all of that. That mentality that's brewed in the hood will follow you everywhere you go until you identify it as a disorder. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to give you the top 5 methods to rid yourself of PTHD. That's post-traumatic hood disorder, because it is a disorder. Okay? Number one thing on top of my list of ridding yourself of PTHD is to decide that you want better than what you've seen. If you want better than being a baby daddy, do you want better than working a job 9 to 5 throughout day to day in, day out, and struggling at the end of the day or end of the month? Do you want better than that? Do you want better than the neighborhood, the environment you see when you walk outside of your door, and sometimes what's in your doors? Do you want better than that? Do you want better than not having a relationship with your father? Or sometimes not having a relationship with your mother, even though she may have raised you? Do you want to have better? Do you want to have a better relationship with a potential spouse or your spouse? Do you want better than that? If you come from any ghetto in America or anything that's considered urban in America, you have PTHD, and you must decide, in order to get rid of it, you must decide, I want better. In order to get rid of the PTHD and then get rid of the effects of PTHD, which is what we're really after. Because once we control the PTHD, we control the effects of it. So number one, you have to decide you want out of this mentality, okay? That's number one. Now, after you decided, this is kind of a hard walk to take alone. You know, the road to healing is a very lonely one, because when you decide that you, first and foremost, identify with PTHD, I guarantee you the people around you are not. And that's including friends, family members, spouses, sometimes even your children. They're not going to see it the way you see it. When you come to your epiphany moment and you come to your breaking moment and you're like, I've had enough. This PTHD has to go. I do suffer from PTHD. I did grow up in a dysfunctional family, household, environment, neighborhood, all of the above. When you decide that, you're going to need help. So my advice to you after you decide is to seek psychological or spiritual counseling of some sort to help you through this process, because you are going to need it. Trust me. I promise you, you're going to need it. Next thing you're going to have to do, and this is going to be a cold one to say, you might not like this one, and the people around you are probably not going to like this one. But don't blame it on Baba Makanjula. It just is what it is. It's what's necessary to be done. Number three is you're going to have to go cold turkey and cut people off. Not just people, things, habits, things you used to do. Because if you cut the habits off at the roots, trust me, you're going to be cutting off other people, because that means you're going to be changing. And when you change, that shines the light on the people next to you who don't want to be shined on, who don't want to change that. So they're going to look at you like, Sharif sitting on the water cooler, on the 40-ounce cooler in Menace Society. You're going to become that Sharif person. You're going to be the one that's going to be different at all the family functions. You're going to be the one that's different at all the friendly functions and outings with friends. Like, you're going to be different. You're not going to want to do those things. If you go cold turkey and you change your old habits, you change your friends by default. So you're going to have to go cold turkey and just start cutting things off, stopping things, stop eating certain foods. And we're going to get more to that in a minute. But stop eating certain foods. Stop listening to certain music. Stop attending certain events. Stop doing certain things that you know is a part of the disorder. PTHD is real, very real. So cold turkey, all right? Excuse me. Thank you. Number 4. I said I was going to get to it, but let's get right into it. Diet reconstruction. You're going to have to reconstruct your diet. I can't express to you how important it is to change your diet in this process. I want you to think about it. If you're in the ghetto, you tell me how many healthy spots you have to eat. And I'm not talking about chicken and fish, okay? How many healthy spots do you have in your neighborhood? Because I've never seen a Whole Foods in the ghetto. I've never seen a Trader Joe's in the ghetto or in the hood. I've never seen it. We have all the fast food places, the Popeyes chickens, the burger joints, all of that stuff is in the hood. But in the hood, we have nothing healthy. Have you ever asked yourself why? You see, that food that you eat creates a fog over your mind. And that fog affects your decision-making process. And your decision-making process reflects or gives life to what you see around you. And the fog is caused by the eating habits that you have acquired. I know this stuff is tough to hear, but it is the reality of it. PTHD is a scientific, diabolical thing that has been created by something or someone that has a purpose. Our job is to get from under it, to live the true life that we have come to live, because the life that you're living in the hood is not what was meant for you to live. Not what was meant. I refuse to believe it. I will never believe it. That's why I chose to change mine. And I'm trying to speak to you to help you to change yours. So the fog is caused by the eating habits developed in the hood. And you know that they call it, right, food deserts in the hood, right? Meaning there's nothing good food around for miles. Why is that? But why, when you go to other neighborhoods, they have everything at their fingertips? Why is that? And then look at their neighborhood and look at the quality of the people in their neighborhood. Just look at it apples to apples and you'll see exactly what I'm saying. So if you're going to change your habits, though, I want to make sure you understand this. Does that mean you got to go vegan, like completely raw vegan tomorrow? No, but take the steps to get to that point. And one of the steps that I want to prescribe to you to get to that point is to detoxify your body. You must detox your body in this process. If you detox, this process will be a little bit easier for you, because the herbs and the stuff in the herbs will maintain you through that process. But by the time you come out of the detox, you're not going to want to do that anymore. If you make it through the whole process, you're not going to want those things anymore. If you do it twice, you're definitely not going to want those things anymore. So my prescription to help you with the dietary process is to get a detox. If you need help with a detox, I know a couple of good herbalists that I can send you to that will help you out with a great detox, and it will work. And at the same time, you will be revitalizing all of your major organs in your body, your blood, your heart, your lymphatic system, your colon, your lungs, all of the things that you need to live, you will be treating in that process. They will be getting a break that they probably have never had since you've been born. And that's what creates a part of the fog. You're not giving your body a break, and it's putting stress on it, which then puts stress on the mind. Do a detox. Change or reconstruct your eating habits for the better. Now you're going to turn to a sharif for food now, because every event you go to that you're not eating the same food as them, no fried chicken and no smoked turkey or smoked neck bones in the greens, like none of that gooky cheese stuff, macaroni, like none of that stuff you're eating, you're going to be the laughingstock of your friends and your family. That's why I said it's tough. Once you start changing, you're going to automatically alienate other people. So reconstruct your diet. All right. And then the last one, everybody, we're going to get out of here. The last one is have a conversation with yourself. I need you to rediscover who you are, because while you were under that fog, you really didn't know who you were. You were out there chasing things like career paths, dollar bills, people, spouses, like all of these things. You're chasing things based upon things you're being told from the outside forces the whole time while your head is in a fog. And when your head is in the fog, you're just trying to survive. And if you're just trying to survive, the things from the outside sound better than what's inside, because the inside isn't talking, it's under a fog. I need you to have a conversation with yourself. I need you to have a conversation with yourself and discover who you are absent that fog. And then look around and then see if you're living who you find out you are. Once you find out who you are, then see if you're living it. Tell me if you're living it. Because by doing this, having this conversation with yourself, you will begin to find your happy space within. And if once you find it within, you can go create it without. But you have to have that conversation with yourself. And then after you find that happy space and you have that conversation, let's take it a step further. Have a conversation with the people around you. Have a conversation with the people who say they love you. Friends, family, mother, father, wife, husband. Have a conversation with them and then ask them to tell you the honest truth. How do they experience you? What are your good things that they see about you? And what are the bad things they see about you? Now, once they give you both sides, let's focus on the good things. Because if we do the good things and we master those, it'll be easier to conquer the bad things. But if we go to the bad things first, it's going to seem too monumental. So let's focus on the good things. And let's build upon the good things. Does that make sense? These are the top 5 things that I see of how we can get from under PTHD. PTHD is a real serious issue to me. If you look around right now, I challenge you right now, give me 5 artists, musical artists that are positive. That you can say are positive. I'm not talking about one song out of their catalog or 2 songs out of their catalog. They focus on making positive music that is in the public eye, that is on YouTube, that has 200 million views, 20 million views for that matter. Like, you show me that. But now flip that. Show me someone that's about drugs, sex, all the derogatory things of life. How many views do they have? And then tell me, where does that mentality truly brew at? In the hood, man. Most of these people making this music are from the hood. And you're telling me there's no such thing as PTHD? Come on. It's time to get this corrected. It's time to get this corrected. I am Baba mocking you a lot. And if you decide that you want to do better, I have help for you. I need you to go to powerofaread.com, subscribe, and we're going to give you a free consultation. A free consultation with me personally. And we're going to talk about some things to see where you are within your PTHD and to see how we can help you move through that energy and get to the other side and survive this PTHD. Do better in life. Get a better spouse. Find a purpose to acquire your financial blessings, not just doing what society says do, because you're in survival mode. We got to get out of survival mode and live. Okay? So go to powerofaread.com and subscribe to that website. It will send everybody an email and they will let me know, and I will personally give you a call and we will set this thing up for you. All right? PTSD is real. I lived it. I'm still living with it. It is not something that just goes away. It is something that stays with us. I survived South Central LA, but I didn't survive South Central LA when I left it. It's still with me at times. Last story, I was walking into a gas station somewhere not too long ago, and when I walked into the gas station, the lady asked me, like, what's wrong with you? This was maybe about 8-9 years ago. Like, what's wrong with you? I was like, nothing. Like, what do you mean? She was like, you look like you're ready to fight somebody. I'm like, I do. I didn't realize it. But what had happened was I was driving from my house into LA, and when I get to LA, I got to put a whole nother face on. You got to watch out where you're going. You can't be walking around looking soft. You know what I mean? So I had to put that face back on. I didn't know I was even doing it. It was by default. That's because PTHD had me on remote control. I'm pretty sure it does to you too. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter if you have a corporate 500 job now. You took PTHD there. It doesn't matter if you live in a different zip code now, in a very nice, affluent zip code. I guarantee you took PTHD there. You have to get rid of PTHD or it's not leaving. I hope this makes sense, y'all. We're going to have more discussions on this PTHD because it's a real thing. But if you have a question, you know what to do. Go to the Power of a Read, subscribe there, get your subscription, and you will hear from us with a free consultation. That is my word. All right? Thank you for listening. Peace out, y'all. Thank you for watching. I hope that this was beneficial for you. If I bless or re-bless, everybody bless. We give thanks and praise. Ashizo Ashe. Let's go.